welcome back to the program. You're watching Morning Thailand with Bo and Golf. Now, of course, more updates. And before we go to the demonstration, apparently there has been another case that the DSI, Department of Special Investigation, will have to look into. And this particular case involving healthcare fraud that took place in one of the hospitals in Bangkok, in Lerdsin Hospital in particular. They say that at this point the DSI is looking into this case because apparently there has been a report that 13 names has been used to apply for healthcare as well as drugs in that received from the Lerdsin Hospital itself. Now, Lerdsin Hospital has contacted the DSI to look into this due to the fact that in the beginning of the year, in May, Lerdsin Hospital has seen quite a little bit of, I guess, a little bit of there's some complications in terms of all the numbers or the names of the patient in the hospital that apply for this particular incident. So there has been quite a bit of a problem there, and they see a little bit of mistakes into this system. However, they say that according to the Lerdsin Hospital, they say that this particular hospital is under the healthcare program where they provide all the free healthcare as well as drugs for certain type of people. They say that some of the people that enroll in this particular program will have to be eligible to receive all the free drugs and healthcare services. However, they say that 13 people in particular has seen quite a bit of a problem because in the computer itself, they say that these 13 people came in and get some treatment and get some drugs. However, according to the hospital staff, that wasn't the case at all. It would just happen to be in the system, but the drugs as well as the expenses in terms of healthcare services that were provided for these people were equivalent to over 1 million baht altogether. And is this particular fraud or healthcare fraud that they believe that they are looking into. They say that at this point, the hospital has already dispersed 56 times of the drugs that has been released to 13 people in this list since March of 2012 to April of 2013, 56 times already, and this equivalent to about 1.8 million baht in total. So Lerdsin Hospital has requested that the DSI go into the hospital and take a look at this. Now they say that at this point, the DSI will take a look at this, but they say that they found one person already that somehow get the name of 13 people and requested that the hospital staff put it into the system. However, they say that the DSI pretty much get that one person and the rest of the people in this particular, well, I guess it's supposed to be a gang anyway because I don't think one person can do it. Mm-hmm. They believe that the 13 people that have their names used did not know anything about this. They would just pretty much has been part of the fraud without even knowing it. But the person that requested the staff to put in all these people's name into the program will be, at this point they are looking for him and probably will be arrested soon in terms of trying to get more evidence as well as more information out of him.
Okay, so that will definitely lead to more of the information for the investigation in that case. And now moving on, just to mention that Loy Kratong is just around the corner. Right, and also to mention that of course with these festivals, of course there would be warnings coming out as well, just to be safe, not having too much fun, but also having some safety precautions at the same time. And that's why the Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation, they decided to come out with some warnings, some particular warnings, due to the fact that there have been several accidents that have occurred before during the Loy Kratong Festival. And to mention in detail here, accordingly, they have been advising the public over some of the use of the fireworks and also the lanterns during the Loy Kratong festival. And in more detail, just to mention here, of course, one of the first of the warnings would be that those who are going to join in on the Loy Kratong activities at the piers mostly, they're just asking the public to be very much aware of, the area, that it's safe or not, whether it's overcrowded or not. I think that would be one of the main cases. And also to check and inspect whether the piers that they are, releasing their floating lanterns can accept a lot of weight or not. And the second warning would be just some prevention from danger of fireworks. And this is, a case that has been found not only with adults, but of course with some of the teenage kids as well, in particular. And they have warned and suggested that if fireworks were really going to be used on that day, it should be in an open area.
Right.
Because accidents occur when it turns out that people think that it's safe enough for them just to, sometimes these fireworks, they come in, it looks kind of like a big pen or whatever, a stick.
Okay.
And they think that they just hold it in their hands and it would be fine. But there are sometimes some cases that it actually explodes in their hands, and of course
Of course.
could.
And that's exactly what I said, that a lot of people don't even understand how to use certain types of, well, this is obviously not equipment, but in terms of playing with fireworks and such, we don't have enough safety measure or even understanding of what we're dealing with.
Yes, and that's a good point, because it turns out that statistics say that there are lots of people in these accidents. Sometimes it's because they modify these fireworks. They want it to be louder, they want it to shoot higher, and that's the cause of some of the accidents there. And the third warning would be just to mention about the floating lanterns in particular. If possible, it should be made from natural material. And nature kind of, going green, and also because if it's foam and plastic or paper, a lot of that, if it's, on fire, it goes on for a while. And if it actually, catches fire for those huge, floating garbages that could be found, it could cause, damage as well. But as you can see, every single year, of course, we see that there is different types of these floating lanterns that are made, whether the ones that are really cheap, or the ones that are a little bit more expensive, but sometimes biodegradable could be expensive, I guess, in some way. But
I have seen in Chiang Mai, they use bread, use bread instead. They make a dough and make it look a little bit more appealing in terms of colors and such. There was one that looked like Angry Birds and vibrant color, and they just baked it. And of course, you stick the incense as well and the candles onto it, and you float it away, and I guess the fish can eat it. As well.
Now that's definitely a great idea, apart from using plastic and foam.
Of course.
Okay.
Now, of course, moving on to another interesting case related to Loy Kratong as well is the poll that came out. Now, of course, we like to conduct a poll a lot here in Thailand, and one of the most famous poll is Bangkok Poll. This year, of course, one of the most famous, I guess, all-time question is asking all the citizens, which politician would you like to Loy Kratong with the most? Or float your Kratong. Kratong is the float itself. So let's see. Apparently, according to the poll, despite the craziness of political situation right now in Thailand, I thought the question was quite interesting, the choice of questions. But they say that still our Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra, still coming in the first with 29.2% of the people that were actually asked into this poll. Now, mind you, these are the sample from Bangkok as well as the vicinities area of Bangkok. So I guess the nearby provinces. They say that they have asked 1,354 people altogether. 29.2 say that they would like to float the Kratong with Kun Yingluck Shinawatra, or our Prime Minister, and 27.1 would like to float with the opposition party leader, Kun Avisit Vechachiwa, which is quite interesting. Now, the third one, though, which is my favorite as well, my all-time favorite politician at this point, is Kun Chuwit Kamon Visit. Yes, of Rak Thailand Party. And of course, we know that he has been in the political scene quite a while, not as, in terms of political movement and such, but he has always been quite outspoken, and he always the one that bringing all the interesting pictures and situation that happen in the House meeting itself or all the debate and such, and pretty much posted on the social media for all to see. So he received 15.6 altogether. I'm not going to be surprised if next time there's election he's going to be elected again and maybe even get important post. Now they said that at this point they asked what would they like to float with the float. When I say float with the float, I mean because Loy Kratong is always when you float bad lucks or anything bad
away, right?
Away from you is, apart from saying gratitude to all the water goddess, of course. Now they say that Thai people would like to float, I guess, the craziness of politics in Thailand. 56.4 said that, so more than half. Now, second to that is 18% have said that they would like to float all the disunity here in Thailand. And the last one was actually 6% say that they would like to float all the corrupted politicians away.
Wow.
I think you're going to need a very, very big float.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or many floats.
Exactly. It's going to involve I don't know, a ferry or something if you're going to do that. So good luck with that. But I think it's all interesting because we like to do all these interesting poll, conducting various poll anyway. Now, apart from Loy Kratong and such, obviously going back to politics, at this point we know, like I said, this is the third day already of what they call the civil disobedience, asking people to pretty much not going to work, not paying taxes. And this is from Kun Suthep Thuksuban, who used to be, I have to say, the Democrat MPs. Of course, he resigned along with 8 other MPs of Democrat Party. Now they say that at this point, this is the third day already because they started since the 13th. And it seems like yesterday there's a lot of things that happens in terms of the movement itself. Now, for Kun Suthep, the movement that Kun Suthep was looking at is the one that anti-amnesty bill. Of course, I said that amnesty bill has been dropped already.
Yes.
Because the Senate decided to drop it, which is good because I think it's like 141 to 0. That they passed it because obviously this is not one of the things that you want to go against the public, especially when you see the movement. But they say that yesterday there has been a little bit of movement from the Urupong intersection that they used to have there. These particular movement involving all the technical college as well as other parties that their aims is to topple the government. So these are anti-government movement, and they say that they walked all the way to Saladang BTS station. So if you're in the area yesterday, you probably have seen quite a bit, as you can see there. They have quite a bit of a big walk. Now they say that they are requesting everyone to join them, and in this time they are opposing the Article 190 of the amendment, which is obviously allowing the government to pretty much sign any foreign treaty or contracts without having to pass through the parliament. But of course, it has to not be involving trade and such. And for this particular movement, they walked all the way to the National Police Bureau as well to request it that something would be done or investigation would be done for the Police Lieutenant General Kamronwit Thupkratang for the fact that he has ordered all the police to actually not arrest but keep a close watch on all the cars that have the Thai flags or national flags on it because it's indicated that these people will be joining the the demonstration. So at this point, I think they were there for like 30 minutes talking about this particular case, try to address the problem. However, back in the Democracy Monument, Kun Suthep Thuksuban talked about the situation. Now at 2 o'clock, it's not as many people, obviously, that joined the place, and yesterday it was raining quite a bit too. However, later on in the day, at about 6 o'clock, there has been quite a bit of numbers of people that join in because probably after work already. And they say that at this point, they believe that more than about 6.9 million baht has been donated to the movement itself in terms of trying to get money for food and such. And Kun Suthep Turksuban has said that after today at 6 o'clock, after 6 o'clock today, they probably will take a look at whether or not what would be the next movement for this particular protest, because they say that obviously it's come to the end and it will stop at about 6 p.m. today. So we probably will have to wait and see whether or not it's going to be as target, because it seems like Kun Suthep Turksuban believe that 50 organizations will join in terms of the civil disobedience. But at this point so far, we haven't seen that much, even in terms of complaint from any parties at all, from business sector that their staff has been not going into work and such.
Okay.
All right, with that, we're going to take a short break, because when we come back, a lot more updates in terms of politics. Of course, I think the the opposition party probably going to file the censure debate already against the government. And I have a little bit of the updates in terms of the Privy here verdict, and a little bit of a skirmishes between Kun Sirichok Sopa of the Democrat Party and Kun Virachai Plasai, the ambassador to The Hague, that joined into this particular case as well. So please stay tuned.